Allow me to beg your indulgence for one moment. Hello, my name is David Porkchop, and I'm here to help WWE superstar Damien Sandow, and in turn help the rest of the WWE universe by trying to get him on television. You're welcome. Yes, Damien Sandow, the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses. I mean, this guy's got some pretty decent accolades, all things considering. I mean, look up his Wikipedia page, and you can see. I mean, he won the tag team championship with The Miz during his old Mizdow phase. He won the Money in the Bank contract when it was still split between two different ones: the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. He won the WWE. He won the World Heavyweight Championship contract. Sadly, he wasn't able to cash it in against John Cena, who had it at the time. And he's one of only two people who has failed to cash in the Money in the Bank. Ironically, the other one was John Cena as well. So, yeah, whatever. And he also won two Slammy Awards. And also, back in the day when when the WWE's developmental was Florida Championship Wrestling, he won the FCW 15 Championship, and he even won the Tag Team Championship with Titus O'Neil, of all people. And also, even before that, Ohio Valley Wrestling. Sorry, I know I'm mispronouncing that big time. He won some accolades there. He won their heavyweight championship twice, the Southern Tag Team Championship once, and the Television Championship. And he's the third Ohio Valley Wrestling Triple Crown champion. So I guess having gotten each of the three main titles that they have there. So yeah. Seriously, WWE, can you get the FCW and Ohio Valley Wrestling stuff on your network too? Have somebody come out and provide some context with some of that stuff. That'd be fantastic. But anyway, I'm going ahead of myself here. So I've come up with a list of 10 different ideas of ways that the WWE can utilize Mr. Damien Sandow and, get him on television and let him do some stuff. Okay? If anybody in the WWE writers' room or anybody in charge has any influence on his career, here's this and want to utilize any of these ideas, please do. I just want to see him on television, okay? Just want to see him utilized, And trust me, if you try any of these ideas, I guarantee you, he can make you guys some more money, Bottom line, that's what it's all about there. It's best for business. Yeah, I know I sound like the authority. Alright, so what do you say we get started with this list here? So here we go. This is the top 10 ways that WWE can utilize Damien Sandow. Number 10, NXT. WWE's current developmental brand, as they like to say it, but it's become sort of a brand unto itself there, because you have people like Samoa Joe, who definitely do not belong in developmental, are helping to legitimize NXT as a brand in its own right, because they have their own product on the WWE Network and elsewhere on television. They have their own special live events on the WWE Network, and they're putting on some of the best matches lately. I mean, they even have their own DVD now, which I'm dying to get. Seriously, you guys got to put more old NXT episodes on there for people to enjoy. I guarantee it. It will be, fantastic there. But anyway, NXT. Why NXT? Okay. Well, think about this. They did this on a couple of occasions with a couple of people. Justin Gabriel during the tail end of his tenure. Titus O'Neil, they did this briefly. Brodus Clay during the tail end of his tenure, when he was doing the heel thing as a main event player and whatnot. And Tyson Kidd. Now, Tyson Kidd really benefited from going down to NXT. They let him develop, let him get involved in some story stuff, competing for the title. Adrian Neville was the champion at that point, if I recall correctly, going up against him, having some pretty good fights and such there. And let him sort of develop a little bit, and then they brought him back up to the main roster, teamed with then heel Cesaro, then they turned face, and sadly, he got hurt, unfortunately, and I don't know if he's going to come back. If he does, that's great, but if he don't, then here's to nice, good, long life there, not cut short by other nonsense and such here. We wish you well there. But it just goes to show, and they did the same thing with Emma as well. She was on the main roster, then they brought her back, and she's really been doing a lot better stuff on NXT, and they put her in recently. And as far as I know, I believe she is on the main show again. sort of in that in-between phase, kind of like what Sami Zayn is doing, or was doing or whatnot. But you get what I mean. Have him come in, like if they're going to have the Finn Balor drop the belt to a heel or something, and then if you're going to bring Finn Balor up to the main roster there, then you're going to need somebody legitimate to try to go for it there. And since seem to be bringing up Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews onto the main roster, along with Enzo and Cass, you're going to need somebody who's, a legitimate threat to try to go for it there. You have people like Austin Aries and whatnot there also. They are available. If Hideo Itami can recover from injury, he's another potential candidate as well they can do that with. But why not somebody like Damien Sandow? He'll get a pop from the NXT crowd. They'll appreciate and love him. They already know who he is. Give him some TV time to actually do some stuff. Let him an opportunity to cut some promos and things like that. And get into a very good program there that can culminate in one of these NXT live events. Although it does kind of bug me that the NXT events are all called TakeOver. TakeOver with a city name on it, that's fine. But I think each one of them should have a separate title. Instead of, they can give them call it NXT something or other. Like a one-word thing, like NXT Revenge or something like that. And again, it's getting into the territory of some of the events that the WWE has had in the past, pay-per-view events and such. But that's a different story there. But anyway, put Damien Sandow on NXT. Let him flourish there. And then when he's, more over and he's ready and you have a storyline ready for him on the main roster, put him back on there, and boom, it's like strapping a rocket on his back and shooting him to the moon there to break through that glass ceiling right there. That's all you got to do. Boom. So NXT, number 10. Number 9, manager. I don't mean give him a manager, because he definitely, unless it's Paul Heyman, then again, that didn't work very well for Curtis Axel, so. But I say, make him a manager. Like, if you need to help push somebody over and you decide you're not going to have him wrestle or whatever, let him be a manager. He knows about the inner-ring psychology and everything else there, and he's good at it, so, have him use the intellectual savior of the masses there to help get someone over there, or multiple someones over, and, let him have his own little group of people, or whatnot, give him the opportunity to dress really spiffy-like and everything, and he can even come out and he can still have his entrance music when he wants to come out and such there. Seriously, Paul Heyman, why does he not have entrance music? Really? This dude is a icon of the industry there. Why does he not have his own entrance theme? I get it, he doesn't want to overshadow Brock Lesnar or whatever, but still, even Lana has her own theme song, for better or worse, because a couple of times she has come out on her own on television, so, why not Paul Heyman? But, hey, Damien Sandow, you can keep the same theme song there, and then there you go. And if he gets into beef with somebody there at some point, and the person he's trying to get over gets screwed, or if they get injured, unfortunately, if they get injured, whether it's kayfabe or real life or whatever, you can work a story there where he, in defend the honor of his client there, picks up his boots and fights. And then that creates a story into itself. There's some interesting opportunities there. So, why the heck not? So, manager, number 9. Shall we move on? Number 8, Money in the Bank. Okay, now here's the thing. I think they should do a Money in the Bank. They should go back to doing 2 matches there for Money in the Bank there. One of them could be for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship hybrid title thing that they got now, the main title. But they should do another one maybe for they should do another one where you can use it on either the Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion, But if they're not going to do that, then have him surprise everybody where he comes out of nowhere, but in a believable way there. Not necessarily in the same way Zack Ryder did. Like Zack Ryder in WrestleMania when he won the ladder match for the Intercontinental title there, and then he lost it the next day on Raw. I felt bad for him, but at the same time it was a great WrestleMania moment in its own right there. But have it be sort of similar to the way that when he won the Money in the Bank contract, Cody Rhodes was the one that was getting over on account of his mustache, I believe, and such, if I recall correctly. Everybody was going nuts at the moment when he was trying to climb up and get there, and because he was teaming with Sandow at the time, and Sandow pushed him over and screwed him, and then he got the Money in the Bank contract. But instead of it, have him play the role of Cody Rhodes there, where he's struggling and he gets to the very top there, and then he finally does it after he's defeated all of his enemies there, and then the place goes bananas because they're happy for him that he finally got back there. And he can cut some promos about how, in the past he didn't quite go well for him when he tried to cash in Money in the Bank, but he's going to be smarter about it this time. He's appreciative of the fact that he has his opportunity, and let him run with that, and you can have him cash in whenever he wants. If the main title, if it's going to be the main title, if it goes to a heel, if you turn Roman Reigns heel, or if you give it to somebody else who is a heel, and then having at one point when the heel is either kayfabe or really injured or something like that, and then Damien Sandow goes in, and then you get something that's probably on par with that moment when Alberto Del Rio got cashed in with Dolph Ziggler. I mean, that's one of the loudest pops ever in WWE history, in wrestling history, right there. That moment, everybody was behind Dolph Ziggler to get the World Heavyweight Championship, and he did, and it was awesome. Sadly, if it wasn't for the concussion, his reign would have been far more memorable, but yeah. But you can have a moment like that as well with Mr. Sandow if you do it this way. Or if you're going to have him cash in against, or if they do the other way, where they create some sort of new one for the IC or the US belt, okay, go for it. Whether if it's a heel, then, people will be happy that it's not on a heel anymore, like if... right now Miz has it, so there you go. There's an interesting way there to get back into the whole Miz feud there. Very interesting. Okay. All right. That's number 8. Let's say we move on to number 7. Number 7, commentator. He's got a great voice. You can clearly hear what he's saying when he's talking. Let him be a commentator once in a while. I mean, they did that for a brief while with one of the Usos when the other one was injured and recovering. They gave him the opportunity to play commentator for a little while on, I don't remember if it was SmackDown or Main Event or whatever, or, I don't know, he was commentator at some point on one of the shows. I forget which one. It escapes me at the moment. If you remember, put it in the comment section just to remind me, okay? I'm too lazy to look it up. But, why not do that with Mr. Sandow? Give people a reason to watch these other shows, I mean, it's unfortunate that Main Event isn't on live like it used to be in the WWE Network, and you have to wait a couple weeks for the episodes to come on, And I'm not buying Hulu for that. Sorry. I shouldn't have to go to multiple places to get all the WWE content I want. Bottom line, So, hey, there you go. Make him a commentator on something, whether you do it as a color commentator or whatnot, fine, Give him the opportunity to do some stuff there and help push some other talent there. If you're not going to use him in the ring, at least give him something to do. Give him a paycheck, Put him on television. It'll be a nice breath of fresh air. Like, when they brought in, what is his name? His name escapes me. The one that's doing SmackDown. And everybody wants him to, do pay-per-views and stuff like that. And he hasn't done much of that. He has done a little bit, like the pre-shows and things like that. But still, Ronaldo, I think his name is. I don't know. His name escapes me. But that dude who does all those other sporting things as well. And he's the commentator on SmackDown now. Hey, that was a breath of fresh air for that. Maybe they can put that in, and can add him to there, or put him on one of the other shows, or hey, even on Raw if they want JBL or Michael Cole to retire, or if they want to move on or do other things, and hey, allow him the opportunity to go in there and do that thing, So, yeah. Okay, next. Number 6, Social Outcasts. Okay, let me go on record here. As I'm recording this, it is the 17th of April, okay? I just found out about the story there, unfortunately, about Adam Rose having been suspended on account of a wellness policy violation there, along with one of the fellows from the Ascension there. And I hope this isn't anything super serious, and here's to them hopefully both getting back on television and working again the way they should be there, of course, and everything else there. I wish both of them well here. And now this idea about the social now the reason I say social outcast here, when this faction first got created, I honestly thought Damien Sandow should have been part of this group, because they had some momentum and they had some victories going on there. And so I've had a couple of false starts with this list, so hence why they were on there. But now, um, with the whole thing, they can take lemons and make some lemonade out of this here with the social outcast. Because sadly, they've been turned into sort of a jobber squad 2.0 or whatever there, but they shouldn't have to do that because these guys are much better than this. So, so this is what I mean here. Um, Originally, I was thinking of having some sort of situation where there's some conflict in between the group or whatever like that there. And then Damien Sandow comes in and says, hey, I understand, I had to deal with Miz, so, hey, why don't you let me help you? We got to be smart about this stuff here, and then, allow them to get some victories and stuff like that. So he can be sort of a mentor, leader for this group here, and then we actually team up in a way that, that they actually get some victories against stuff there as faces, rather than these, obnoxious heels or whatever. And, have Damien Sandow sort of being the clear leader there, because if anybody knows about what it's like to be left behind and such there and having interaction with social media and such like that, it's somebody like Damien Sandow. Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna acknowledge the fact that Adam Rose is not on television there as part of the social outcasts, then have Damien Sandow come in and sort of fill in the gap with that there. And then when Adam Rose comes back, he joins in and he comes part of the group. He's part of the group again, and they go off and do their thing, So, hey, let the social outcasts run and roll there, You got these three of the guys that are part of the group here, and they shouldn't have to suffer a loss of momentum there because of losing a member, So let Damien Sandow do that. And then when Adam Rose comes in, he's part of the group again, or they can create a story where there's some beef there, and, some disharmony or whatever between them and whatnot, and let Mr. Sandow run and roll with that there, Number 5, tag team. He's done this a few times with Fandango, teaming with him and then going against him and such, and some of these other shows and live events and things like that, And going back to the Royal Rumble, the 2016 Royal Rumble, he teamed with Darren Young. And then somebody came up with the idea of, I heard on Twitter, somebody had the name Tag Team, ? Millions of Scholars. And I thought, hey, that actually sounds like a pretty cool title there, because his group with Cody Rhodes was the Rhodes Scholars. So why the heck not? That would be a great name for a team, But then again, with the whole Titus O'Neil thing, why not play up the fact that they were a team before or whatever, and have him team up, have Damien Sandow team up with Titus O'Neil. Rebuild that tag team that you had way back in FCW, Why the hell not, And because you got two people that have been, feel like they've been screwed in one way or another there, for better or worse. The whole Titus O'Neil suspension thing there for grabbing Vince or whatever, or I don't know. I still don't 100% understand it, but I think it was ridiculous that it was a serious overreaction, And Mr. Sandow not being utilized on television to his full potential. So have them have some sort of mutual understanding in that regards, and let them, build a natural team there, and let them go for the tag team titles, and let that springboard into some solo careers for both of them there that they both deserve, Or this next one that we're going to do here can be an offshoot of that too as well, because I don't want to leave Darren Young behind either here, because I think he's a very capable wrestler as well. It would not make sense to really throw away the whole primetime players thing, so you can do something like this. So bear with me here. Number 4, faction. If you're not going to do just a straightforward tag team of 2 there, then make it a faction there. I mean, that kind of plays into a little bit of the social outcast sort of thing, but create a faction there. You can have it be Millions of Scholars and have it be the primetime players going with Damien Sandow there. You can add Fandango into the mix if you want to. Basically, anybody that is a face that hasn't been really utilized that much on television. Have them be like the antithesis to the social outcasts or something, but make them a legitimate threat there. Make it a faction. And if you bring the Authority back into power, have them go against the Authority whenever they can there, and, make it a whole interesting story there about that, and give them something to do. I mean, Mr. Sandow, he's the kind of person that is he's a natural leader there. He's charismatic, he has the great voice, he's intelligent, so why not let him be a faction leader there, make it a way to finally do what you were hoping, have WWE do what they were hoping to do with Dolph Ziggler when he managed to successfully get rid of the Authority for a little while. Have it be more permanent there. If you're gonna push the whole brand, if they're gonna do a brand split, or if they're gonna have the Authority off TV, or if they're gonna do something different entirely, then there you go. It's another idea. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Number 3, the Dosman Project. Let me explain this a little bit here. This is a name that I had for an idea that I had in my head here at one point. Just doing some fantasy WWE booking type stuff there. I had an idea which I dubbed the Dosman Project. I named it after Donny Osmond because in the 80s when he had that song Soldier of Love, I believe, a radio DJ or him or his label or someone played the record, but they didn't announce who the name of the artist was. And the song got great radio airplay, and people loved it, and they wanted to know who it was and everything. And they let this build for a little while until the revelation there that it was Donny Osmond. And when everybody realized what it was, after had the opportunity to build some, good, to build interest from the fan base and such there, when it was revealed that it was Donny Osmond, hey, people were behind it. And he had a bit of a career resurgence there for a while, and partly to his career now, doing his thing. So I call it the Dosman Project because the idea that I had was, if you were trying to get somebody over, originally I had this idea for somebody like Eva Marie in NXT or whatever, but you can do this with pretty much anybody there. Because the idea I had with Eva Marie was, because she has such nuclear heat, and everybody just hates her, I thought, why not give her an opportunity to actually show, build some goodwill there. So what you do is, what I was thinking of was introducing a new character, but have it be her in a mask, cut her hair or put a wig or something underneath there, and keep it, like literally, like kayfabe, literally, like ultra kayfabe there, that this is a separate person, Even have some pre-taped, things in the back, where you see Eva Marie in the background and somebody else is playing this new character in the mask, and she has a slow build feud with, some high profile bits there, in the meanwhile, Eva Marie is training and she's doing her thing there. Eva Marie pops up from time to time in her natural state there, to still show that she's still around there. But since NXT is pretty much pre-taped, they can do a lot of the same stuff they do on something like SmackDown or whatever, and slow build and sell the fact that this is a separate person there, and then have it culminate in like a big feud there, where it's just point there, this person hopefully this new character gets super over, and then the other person, whoever the feud is with or whatever, it ends somehow, and then have a dramatic reveal in the ring there. It's like, if the person, the new character in the mask loses, like, I'm sorry, I failed you, and then you get to hear her speak. Give her a mouthpiece so that this person doesn't speak, so it doesn't give away the identity of who it is, and then have the shocking reveal that it is Eva Marie. And then have Eva Marie either cut a promo in the ring, or up in the Titantron if you don't want to get her booed out, and just say that I knew nobody would give it a chance if it was just me. I just wanted a chance to try to make everybody proud and do my thing, and I failed you all. I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. All that sort of stuff there. And build some sympathy for her and get the people behind her, and give fans the ultimate option if they want her to be this new character full time, or if she wants, or let her just be herself, and then incorporate all those new moves and stuff like that into her repertoire there, as the new and improved Eva Marie, and then hopefully getting the fans to go with her, I mean, granted, it's a very specific example, but you can modify this in a number of ways there. Put a mask on Sandow and have him be over as a new character, and then, do similar sort of things, slow building to something, or it's like a mask for mask sort of thing there. And then at the very end, when it's revealed who it is, and you see it's Damien Sandow, and then everybody's so, oh my God, they appreciate it, and they enjoy it there, and he has momentum going forward there to go ahead and have a resurrection in his career, So, the Dosman Project. Number 3. So, let's move on to number 2. Mind you, These are not ranked in any particular order. I should have prefaced that from the beginning here. Okay, so heel turn. This is not one I would really recommend, to be perfectly honest with you, because I want to cheer for him as a face, but he's talented enough that he can pull it off either way. I mean, when he came out in the beginning, he was a heel, you know? I mean, those early vignettes, those first vignettes of him, talking down as an intellectual and everything like that, are fantastic. So, number one, underdog. Everybody loves a good underdog story. It worked for Daniel Bryan. Just slow build into that and give him the opportunity to have a big, moment there, a feel-good moment for the crowd. Have him, whether you do want to have him be the one that goes up against the Authority or whatnot. Now, mind you, any of these ideas that I have here could be intertwined and mix and match with each other here, but I'm just, stating them individually, but for the purposes of this list. But otherwise, you can mix and match any number of these, and it would still be just as relevant and powerful to help Mr. Damien Sandow. But anywho, underdog. Portray him as a bit of an underdog there. He has to use his brains there or whatnot. If you see the Superstars episode where he was just fighting Ryback that they just had on Friday, he has to use his brain to try to go up against Mr. Ryback there with his pure power, and he does well. He does pretty well, all things considered. He doesn't win, but hey, at least you can't blame him for trying there. But let him get a sympathetic, let him become more sympathetic as somebody who, either keeps losing, or they keep getting screwed by the Authority, or he keeps coming close to having some golden opportunities to rebuild his career and momentum there and a storyline, and just have it going and going, but do it in a way that doesn't make it seem repetitive, though, but make it genuine. Have him cut a heartfelt promo or two, just like he did after WrestleMania, after he lost the rights to use the Mizdow name. That's actually one of the best promos I've ever seen. It wasn't a particularly heartfelt, shouting at the top of their lungs, angry, I hear it's amazing, that type of thing. It was just heartfelt, and he got to be himself, Let him do some of that again and connect with the WWE Universe. I mean, that's how he got over there, by being honest and upfront and connecting with them in a way that was entertaining. So, slow build that until he builds his way up the ladder there and becomes the draw that will be featured and generate money for the WWE, get some revenue going for them. Generate some merchandise, get a new shirt for him. Hey, what, you can even have little bathrobes for children there that have, the kid's name on it or something, Why the heck not? That'd be fantastic. Pink and blue ones for the girls and for the boys, and, to look like Mr. Sandow there, just to be nice and comfortable. And I think it'd be the cutest thing ever, though, and make them for adults, too. Why not? Just get some more merchandise out there for the guy there. Show your love for the underdog there. And definitely, God bless that person at Superstars that had the I am greater than you sign in the audience there, showing their support for Mr. Sandow during the fight. That's awesome. Anywho, that is my top 10 list of ways to help out Mr. Damien Sandow. Hopefully, you enjoy the list there. If Mr. Sandow sees the list as well, thank you for being the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses here, and big shout out to North Oxford there. I'm with you. But anyway, but there's a lot of Damien Sandow fans out there. I mean, you want to see something really interesting? I mean, there's a guy on YouTube I subscribe to named The Gambler. Well, I'll put a link to his content in the description, where he does an update every week of what Mr. Sandow is actually up to. So check it out and support Mr. Sandow. Sign the petition. I'll have a link to that as well in the description here, if it's not too late. And if you're at the WWE shows, throw a "We Want Sandow" chant if there's something boring going on there. Get behind him if he's there at the show or the live events, whatever you're doing there. Throw a little support his way. Trust me, he'll appreciate it. And who knows? Maybe we'll get him to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion one day. I mean, hey, Mark Henry was with the company for a very long time, and then toward the later end of his tenure there, several years ago, whatnot, when the World Heavyweight Championship was still around there. He got to be a monster and have a good long run with that. So, hey, maybe it's just a matter of patience too. Who knows? But I'm impatient, so I'd rather just see him now on television rather than later. But anywho, that's all I got to say about that. I thank you, and have a good day. Bye.